Hi, welcome. Here's your Go Math lesson for today. We are on section 18.1, time to 15 minutes. We are finally going to learn how to read a clock, right? How to tell time using a clock. So how do you tell time to 15 minutes on the clock? So we're going to draw the hour hand to show each time. So the hour hand is the small hand or the big hand? The hour hand is the small hand. The minute hand is the big hand. Everyone, let's say that together. The hour hand is the small hand. The minute hand is the big hand. So let's see. Let's begin with 3. We're going to draw the hour hand to show the time, and then we're going to put 15 minutes, so 3:15. So again, the small hand is the hour hand, and the hour is 3, so the small hand should be pointing at the 3. And then we say that it's 3:15. So 3 o'clock would be like this, right? But 3:15 would be 5, 10, 15. So that means the big hand is also on the 3. When you draw the big hand, make sure you make it long to touch the purple rim. And the small hand doesn't go past the dotted line, the dotted circle. So the small hand shouldn't go past this dotted circle, and the big hand should be touching the purple rim. So this shows 3:15. The next time they want us to write is 5. Hold on. Repeat the activity for 5:30. Okay, so 5:30 is 5:30. So here they want us to show 5:30. So the small hand, the hour is what? 5, right? So the small hand would go from here to about at the 5. Remember, the hour hand does not go past that dotted line, the dotted circle. So 5, and then the big hand is the minute hand, and that's 30. How do I know where 30 is? Well, this is 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So the 6 is 30. So if I draw a line straight down on the 6, that's 5:30. All right, the next one says 11:30, and then 8:30. So 11:30 is 11:30. So 11:30, the small hand is the hour hand. That's 11, so it's going to point to the 11. And the big hand is 30, and that's going to point to what? The 6. So that shows us that the time is what? 11:30. Let's write the time underneath each clock. So here it's 11:30. When we write the time, we write the hour first, and then these 2 dots which separate the hour from the minute, and then the minutes. It's 11:30 here. Here we said it was what time? 3 what? 3:15. It's 3:15 here. And here it is what? 5. What, Dominic? 5:30. What can't you see, hon? No, I'm right here, 5:30. Okay, and then now the last one, let's see what we're going to write. It says 11, it says 11:30, and then 8:30. Okay, so 8:30 would be 8:30. So the hour hand is the small hand, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to draw the hour hand, which is 8, pointing at the 8. And then the big hand would be 30, and that would be pointing at the 6. Remember, the big hand, you make it real long, all the way touching the purple rim. And the small hand doesn't go past the circle, dotted circles. It's very important when you're doing this to really try to work on your handwriting and make the lines as straight as you can. Because it will get real confusing if it's one tick mark away or a few tick marks away, and it's not going to be the exact time. All right, and then here we said that the time is 8:30, so we're going to write 8:30 on top. 8:30. So in this unit, we're first going to learn how to tell time using a clock. And then later in the unit, we're going to learn what do we do in those parts of the day. So it can be 3 o'clock sometimes in the morning, and it could be 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So what's the difference between 3 o'clock in the morning and 3 o'clock in the afternoon? So, because 3 o'clock is not really morning, it's kind of the middle of the night. Okay, and 3 o'clock can also be in the afternoon when we get out of school. So in this unit, we're going to learn, don't feel overwhelmed and exhausted because this sounds like too much. I know every year my kids struggle with this, and it is too much, but we're going to take it really slow. Okay? I promise we're going to take it really slow. So the first thing we're going to learn is how to tell time, and then we'll learn what the time means. Okay? It takes 5 minutes for the minute hand to move from one number to the next number on a clock face. So this is the face of a clock. Everyone has their own clock. It looks like this. This is the face of my clock. Now, if we look at the face, all right, if we look at the face of my clock, on my clock it's actually right now what? It's 5 o'clock. But that's not what I'm trying to get to, because here they're not telling us about the hour so much. They're really focusing on the minutes. So they're basically showing you that when you move like this at the 1, so this is 0, and then this is 5, count with me, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, and 60 is the same as o'clock. Did you see how the big hand went to the next hour? The small hand went to the next hour? So every time the big hand goes 60 minutes is the same as 1 hour. So let me show you that again. Look at the small hand. Notice how it's on the 6. Can everybody see that? Okay, watch. You're going to go around again, 5, 10, 15, 20, all the way to 60, and then notice how the big hand goes to 7 by itself. Watch. Oops. 5, 10, 15. Look how the blue hour hand is moving by itself. 20, 25, 30. It's moving by itself. 35, 40, 45, 50, 55. Look how it's moving. It's almost on the 7. 55, 60. Now it's on the 7. Because 60 minutes is the same as 1 hour. Okay? Alright, so anyway, let's move on. I just wanted to show you that. So the clock hands on these clocks show 4:15 and 4:30. These times are shown on the digital clock. So here, this is 4:15, and that's how it looks on the digital clock. Let's trace that. 4:15 is how it looks on the digital clock. Most people in here probably know how to read a digital clock, right? Yeah. And here, this digital clock tells us that it's what? 4:30. The 30 tells you that the time is 30 minutes after the hour. So it's 30 minutes past the hour. So it's 4:30. Yes, Leia? Good. All right, let's move on. Look at the clock hands and write the time. So here, this one is easy. If this hour hand is always the first number, what is the hour here, class? 1. And if the big hand is on the 12, then it's o'clock, which is 00. So number 1 is 1 o'clock. Let's look at number 2. Number 2, the hour hand is between the 8 and the 9. If you're ever confused on if it's 8 or 9, always go with the smaller number. It's 8. So if the smaller number is 8, then the hour is 8. And then 8 what? 30. It's 30 because the big hand is on the 6. And if you count up from 12 to 6, that's 30. Watch. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Okay, what about number 3? Number 3, the hour hand looks like it's on the 4, but it's not. It's actually, if you look real closely, it's almost on the 4, but it's not quite on the 4. It's still 3. It's still 3. You look at the hour before. It's very close to the 4 because it's almost 4. When that big hand is on the 12, then it's 4. It's 15 minutes till 4. So the time is 3:45. Good job. It is 3:45. Moving on, let's look at I'm going to let you try to go ahead and try number 4, 5, and 6 on your own. You can pause the video now, and when you're done, unpause so we can go over it. Pause the video now. Okay, now that you've had a chance to do some of these on your own, let's review what you've done. Number 4, the hour hand is the small hand, and that looks like it's pointing to the 10, but it's not on the 10 yet. It's 15 minutes till 10. So we look at the hour before, it's still 9. So the time is 9:45. And I know it's 45 because the big hand is on the 9. And if I count up 5 minutes from 12 to 9, it'll be 45. Let's look at number 5. The small hand is the hour hand, and the hour hand is in between 12 and 1. It's not on 1 yet, but it's not on 12 either. Remember, you look at the hour before. The hour before 1 is what? 12. So the time is 12:30. 12:30. No, I just told you that. You look at the hour before because it's not exactly on the 12. It's not exactly on the 1 either. So, yes, what was your question, Dominic? Yes, the minute hand is, I understand that. The minute hand is on the 9. That means it's 45, right? You understand that, right? The hour hand is not exactly on the 10. You have to be real. No, it's not. It's 1 tick mark away from the 10. It's almost on the 10, but it's not exactly on the 10. It shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. Because if it was exactly on the 10, then in 15 minutes it would be 11. And that's not close to being on 11. All right, that was a tricky question. Let's look at an easier one, like number 6. Number 6, the small hand is in between the 6 and the 7. So we know that the hour is either 6 or 7. What do? What is the hour, 6 or 7? It's 6 because I always look at the hour before or the smaller number, so 6. And then the big hand is on the 3, so it's 6 what? 6:15. 6:15. I know it's 15 because the 1 is 5, the 2 is 10, and the 3 is 15. All right, let's look at number 7. Solve. Ali eats lunch when the hour hand points between the 11 and the 12. And the minute hand points to the 3. Show this time on both clocks. How do you know what time to write in the digital clock? So let's draw it. Ali eats lunch when the hour hand points between the 11 and the 12. So I'm going to make my hour hand, which is the small hand, point between the 11 and the 12. And the minute hand, which is the long hand, will point to the 3. So what time is that? It's not 12 yet. It's 11:15. So what am I going to write on the second clock? 11:15. Very good. $11:15. All right. How do you know what time to write in the digital clock? The digital clock is basically just telling us the hours and the minutes, right? It just shows us the hours and the minutes. The digital clock kind of just tells us what time it is. Rather than this clock, you would have to read what time it is, right? All right, let's move on. Number 8, Gabriel sees this time on a digital clock. 7:30. Draw clock hands to show 7:30. 7:30 would mean that the hour hand is not on the 7, but between the 7 and the 8. And the big hand, which is the minute hand, would be on the 6, which means it's 30. That's 7:30. And the reason you don't put the small hand between the 8 and the 9 is because if this big hand goes all the way up to the 12, then it'll be 9 o'clock. That's wrong. It's 7:30. That means when the big hand is on the 12, it'll be 8 o'clock. Okay? You guys want to try that here? Let's try that here. Let's draw 7:30. Everyone put 7:30 on your clock. When I say it's 7:30, then the small hour hand is between the 7 and the 8. It's in between the 7 and the 8. And let me show you why this is 7:30. If I move the time up to the clock, then the next hour is exactly, because the next hour would be 8. See, look, this is 7:30. And if I move the clock back up to 12, then it'll be 8. That's why the hour hand doesn't go between the 8 and the 9. That's not 7:30. That's 8:30. Because when the big hand is on the 12, then it's 9. You get it? Yes. It reads what time it is. When I move this around, it tells us on the digital clock what time it would be. Okay. Anyway, I want you to go ahead and complete pages 606 to 608 on your own. If you have any questions, let me know. I will see you guys later. Bye.